request Mr. Manish Grover, Executive Director, Strategic IAS, IOCL, Indian Oil Corporation, to share his thoughts on cloud computing and cybersecurity for PSUs. A huge round of applause for him, please.
Thank you so much. A very good evening to all of you. Uh, Mr. Rana Gupta, Mr. Arvind Kumar has gone, Mr. George Kuruvilla. I think his presentation has made a bit of my task simpler in terms of what cloud computing and is all about. A lot of things were used by my earlier speakers in terms of PSU and the use of computing by the PSU. So I represent one of the largest PSUs in India. Oil and gas, Indian Oil Corporation is about 50% of India's oil and gas market leader in India. We operate about 10 refineries and 15,000 kilometers of pipeline network, about 60,000 customer touch points. I touch almost half of country's population by way of my services in terms of products, be it my LPG cylinder, retail outlets, or the lubricants, and many new fields which we are now touching in the petrochemical sector as well. So Indian Oil for the last 63 years has been in the forefront of India per se, trying to deliver the most important of the energies which we all need on day-to-day life. So as a front runner in oil and gas sector, we have also been front runner in terms of applying technology as and when it started. So we started a journey almost in 2000, 2004 with implementing one of the largest ERP implementation in the form of SAP. Today, it's almost 18 years and entire operations of IOC runs on SAP, completely in-house after 6 years of implementation by an outside party. So all my team, all my ERPs is run on SAP. All my B2C, B2B transactions, everything is on SAP today. This was followed up by another ERP which we introduced, looking at what my customers want in the market, reimagining all their expectations. We introduced something called CRM and the secondary dealer management system, and which gave me a 360-degree view of all my customers. We approached a platform kind of an approach where all my customers, be it my retail customers, my LPG customers, my customers who buy lubes from me, my direct customers, aviation, they are all there. We have created apps by which I connect and engage all my customers for each and everything. And as luck would have it, by the time we were ready with this ERP, the pandemic hit. And that was the right time almost when we needed everything, which had to be contactless, paperless, and digital in terms of payments as well. That's the kind of thought processes which had gone into it. And during this journey, in 2018 came a time when our company thought about the digital transformation which Mr. Kuruvilla was talking about. While we had the ERPs, but we run the refineries, which are 10 in number, which are operational technology, one side of the story. We have pipelines, another operational technology, and bottling plants, terminals. So we embarked on another journey, and which is called the iDrive, which I represent, which is the digital enablement and IT vision for my company. And we created this DCOE, the Digital Center of Excellence, called iDrive. The basic concept was to plug all the gaps, bring in digitalizations in my refinery operations. And we had the 4 major pillars on which we worked upon. Primary being the deep analytics pillar, which has given the immense benefits to my company. We have approached through a platform kind of approach. We have a robotic platform we have created. We have created an AR/VR platform. We have created data management platform, which is a data lake kind of situation. And we are on to creating an AI platform as well. And thirdly, we are trying to do the change management across. Now, looking at the kind of data which we handle in Indian Oil, this company per se has been classified as the most critical data handling company. The government of India does not allow many of my data. Almost 80% of my data cannot go into cloud or any other infra which is outside my premises. So to start with, from the very beginning, we are an on-prem company. We created data centers across India. We have a major data center in Gurgaon and backup centers, DR centers in Bangalore. Similarly, for the second ERP, we created another data center. We co-located that in another company's thing. But the data centers are on-prem. So with 2018 onwards and today when we stand in front of you, the IT policies have changed. And what we find, as he rightly points out, that the cloud first policy has also come across in our company. Now we are looking at cloud as one of the options. How we look at it, I'll try to put it across in some words. We find that the ecosystem has quite matured today. We saw there are a variety of services which can be available to our customers like us. We need not wholeheartedly go into cloud, but based on the use cases, I can, as we saw the terminologies here, we can opt for a SaaS model or a PaaS model or IaaS model. Some of these, options are suitable for the developers, whereas others are suitable for business users like us. And the efficacy of cloud-based systems also depends on what is the future vision of the organization, as well as data security concerns, and accordingly, on-premise systems can also be explored. So that is where I stand today. I have to always visualize what is the data security level of my data which I'm going to put it there. In IOCL, as I said, we embarked upon this journey. We are already implementing multiple tools which run on cloud. One of the tools called the Operator Training Simulator, which is used to train my people in refineries for various operations. It runs on cloud. Multi-refinery tool, there are about 21 kind of applications which can help us train my manpower in 2-day operations. I have another operation called Vishleshan. It's an analytical tool which we run on cloud for my retail computing. All my petrol pumps run, and there's a huge lot of data which comes. As we all know, we change the price every day without touching any machines. 6 a.m. every day the new price comes, whenever the price is coming. Nobody is doing those changes. They're all being done through our cloud computing solution. And we are utilizing the IaaS components to run these specialized algorithms. What we do is we run the compute and do the storage on-prem. So we are trying to do a hybrid kind of situation. We have another major tool which we have just started a few months ago, which is we aptly called e-Pariyojana, which is trying to monitor all my projects across my company. About 2 lakh crore projects we are monitoring through this tool, which runs on our cloud. All my refinery projects, all my projects in marketing divisions or pipeline divisions are being monitored through this tool. For us, what we have found is that hybrid is a good solution. We talked about cloud here, and it is an emerging option, and on which we can keep some data on the public cloud and some data on the premise. So public cloud data is the one which is not so critical data, and whereas on-prem data, we keep all the critical data which cannot leave me. This can also be purely a techno-commercial decision, and which a lot of organizations takes based on their roadmap of the digital roadmap. At IOCL, we also have deploying digital tools that leverage the hybrid cloud. For example, our data management platform, which we have done, has been designed in a modular fashion. Largely, it's an on-prem solution, but on demand, we go on public cloud while keeping the critical data on the premise itself. Lots of benefits have been explained by Mr. Kurugula on exploring the cloud. It has given us desired scalability, cost savings, exploring cutting-edge services on cloud, and maintaining a competitive edge, because all the technical things and the analytical part we are able to do give us a lot of data, full insights which are able to utilize. In IOCL, we have done another thing, that for the entire PSU oil companies, BPC, HPC, IOC, we were supposed to create a common platform for LPG database, which is a huge database of 30 crore customers, having all Aadhaar informations. This we have created on a cloud platform, which has been kept cloud agnostic. So I can plug and play and change my cloud. So I am not bound by that. So those are the kind of things we bring in when we go to cloud situations like that. For potential concerns and challenges on the cloud have been brought out. Some concerns are security related. We just saw them. We have those concerns, rightly so, in our corporation as well. With running servers on premise, we are able to retain the control over the security. We just saw that in a cloud situations, in 24 hours, you are left with 3% of data, rest goes. 24 data is not there. And the measures like installation of patch updates, firewalls, by hosting in cloud, our experience is the ownership of the security is outsourced to the vendor. And which is in our kind of scenarios and our kind of confidential operations in many, many things, we are not able to, or we are not allowed to go there. And there are many compliances which we need to follow with relevant to the government regulations. And these regulations and compliances pertain to the data privacy, data residency. It has to be residing in India. I cannot go to a cloud where the data residency is not in India. So we had to, in fact, suspend certain things which we took it from Oracle, which were not residing in database or data centers were not in India. Later, when they shifted it here, and the clouds have to be MITRE approved. In our case, hybrid cloud, as I said, is a way forward. We are deploying on-premise solutions for our refineries, where the data is critical. We are not allowed to even share that data with my OEM outside my system. And since the data is sensitive, anybody can actually read the data and see what my refineries are doing. And we are utilizing, but this data, so what we have done, we have allowed the OEMs to come into my data centers, put our servers there, analyze my data. For computing, I take my data to the cloud. And based on that workflow situations, I use the computing powers. As regards portability is concerned, adopting cloud approach, basically we should not get locked by the cloud that we have to use those native solutions only. As I said, normally when we go to the cloud, we like to be portable enough that when we want to change the cloud due to the CSP not giving the services as we want, we should be able to plug and change our cloud service providers. In terms of security and governance, what we feel is that organizations should plan for cloud so that the security provisions can be seamlessly improvised. And the key guidelines for security at scale are automation, proper monitoring, and having a dedicated IT security team and policy in place. In our company, let's say an enterprise architecture is put in place at Indian Oil that clearly chalks out which application is integrated to what system and what networks is communication to, hence adding additional security layer. In terms of governance and compliance, data management systems put in place should be capable of identifying individual roles and responsibilities, define data domains, suggest data workflows, establish data controls, define policies and standards, and revoke authorization in case of data and policy breaches. Data protection, as we talk about it, that these are the major basic practices which organizations have to follow, which are in the form of data encryption, data backup, archivals, ensuring regular system updates, patches upgrades, installing firewalls, and anti-malware systems, and establish an exhaustive cyber data security policy. All these measures are well available in cloud providers per se. So when we talk, say, cloud, we know that they are the best in security providers as well, but still there are instances of breaches there as well. A major input that IT needs to provide businesses during the design phase of RFPs. Like when we try to do more RFPs which are IT based, that is where the functional teams have to provide lot informations. At Strategic IS, what I represent, we draft in technical requirements data security such as encryption, firewalling, architecture. So we work hand in hand with our functional teams to define and create their scope of work so that whatever is being brought out as a solution has all the cyber security data has been put in there. And as far as the next steps for our organizations, which we are already starting taking is, Largely two-step process which we recommend, which are following in our company as well. Public sector organizations, we can start small and scale up gradually. I mean, it's not necessary to go completely hog into cloud situations. We can conduct an exhaustive as-is assessment of infrastructure and design to be state by identify applications which can be migrated to cloud. That's exactly what we are trying to do. Which are the applications I can take to cloud without compromising any of my critical data guidelines or the security of the data. And a very key, guiding principle in the cloud journey, which we have experienced in the last 4 or 5 years, is you have to think big. You think big is what it is. Start small, scale up. And for instance, at IOCL, we started with implementation of analytics tool on premises using defined historical data. Now, as we look to scale up implementation to new use cases as well as scale up existing use cases, we are exploring cloud as the option to quickly add resources as per our need and evaluate the latest deployments available on leading public clouds. And today, as we speak, cloud is also becoming kind of an option only because the hardwares are not available in the market. The next added thing which is shifting and pushing us to actually evaluate the entire ecosystem is these things also. If you plan today, you will get your hardware maybe 1 year later from today. So if you are quickly going to the market, from conceptualization to market, we have to think in this fashion so that we are able to actually digitalize and not wait for hardware to arrive. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Manish Grover, Executive Director, IOCL. As you have said at the end, I'll take a crux of what you have said at the end, that start small, think big, and then move to the next point. That has been the cloud adoption journey of IOCL over the years, one of the early adopters of technology. And as you have said, on behalf of the population of India catered to, and a lot of things have been done by IOCL in terms of cloud and data security as well. Thank you so much for sharing with us all those insights about your thoughts on cloud and data security. Thank you so much.